Hi there. The high-profile Rombaua trap in the Spanish martial gambit may have some great surprise value, but objectively it's not very good at all. Not quite sure where the name comes from. If you know, please drop me a line. After e4 and e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, the Spanish a6, the bishop drops back to a4, knight f6, white castles, black can take the pawn on e4, the open variation, or the closed variation with bishop e7, as we see here. Rook e1 defends the pawn now on e4. b5 sends the bishop back to b3. Black castles, white plays c3 preparing d4, but black gets in first with the martial counter gambit, where black gives up a pawn for active piece play. After d5, white takes, e takes on d5, knight takes on d5, black recaptures, and now the pawn on e5 is dropping where white wins a pawn. Knight takes on e5, knight takes on e5, rook takes on e5, and white's a pawn up, but black will get very active piece play. c6 considered to be the best move here, quiet move supporting the knight on d5, and the bishop's heading for d6 on the next move. d4, and now bishop d6 sends the rook back to e1, and we've reached the launch pad position for this Rombaua trap in the martial. Well, usually black's going to continue with queen h4, but black might consider this surprise sack on h2, this Greek gift sack. Bishop takes on h2, very dubious, after king takes on h2, which is fine for white. Now queen h4 with a tempo check. After king g1, bishop g4 hits the queen, queen d3, and now rook a to e8. And here white has to be careful. White can maintain a clear advantage with a move rook to e5. Nothing wrong with that at all. White's going to be doing okay. If instead a move like bishop d2, simply to try and develop and defend his rook on e1, maybe white would be thinking that if rook takes, bishop takes, then rook e8, then maybe perhaps knight a3 can bring the rook on a1 into the game, which seems to be okay, perhaps for white. But after bishop e2, then rook takes on e1, bishop takes on e1, but black's going to be winning after this move knight to f4, which hits the queen and also targets invading on e2. That's going to be winning for black. So bishop d2 for white's not the correct move here. So I mentioned rook e5 for white is, let's have a look at another line. If bishop e3 developing and blocking the e-file, then black wins in this variation as well. Knight f4 is played. The bishop can't take the knight because of rook takes on e1. And then queen to f1 is going to be met by knight h3 check, another sack. After g takes the knight on h3, bishop takes h3, hits the queen. Queen e2. Objectively, black's best move would probably be queen e4, threatening mate on g2. That looks the best, but more natural would be rook e4, bringing another piece into the mix, where the rook's heading for g4. This is also winning for black. The game might continue f3, but every defense here for white is losing. f3 is going to be met by queen g3 check. After king h1, rook h4 will be mating within probably about 2 moves. That's black's mating attack. So this has been the Rombaua trap in the Spanish martial gambit. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.